What's good, everyone? It's Steve from Sneaker Tech Talk, back with another video today. For today's video, we will be taking a look at the performance review of the Jordan Zion 3. But starting as always at the bottom of the shoe, you do have this herringbone traction pattern here in the forefoot. It is solid rubber. And then kind of this wave pattern here as it kind of spirals out here in the heel. This portion here and wrapping around the solid portion is translucent. Now, how these perform on court, if you're playing on a clean floor, you will have to wipe every so often, but these stick very nice on a clean floor. Now, dirty floors, these things catch a ton of dust, and it is a problem because you will be sliding out in these if you're not wiping like every second play here in the Jordan Zion 3. They just collect a ton of dust, and I played on a clean floor and I had to wipe every few plays as well, and they really stuck to clean floors. But on dirty floors, it is a wrap. If you're not wiping every play, you will be sliding out here in the Jordan Zion 3. I am interested to see if these will be coming out in a solid outsole, because I do think those will perform a lot better, because the overall pattern's great. It's just this translucent portion that catches a lot of dust in the outsole that causes all of the problems. So overall, the rubber compound isn't overly soft. It is actually a pretty firm rubber compound, and it is a pretty reliable one when you're on those clean floors. But like I mentioned, dirty floors, it is a problem. So as far as the traction goes on the Jordan Zion 3, I'm gonna have to give these a 7.5 out of 10. I do wanna see a solid outsole on these. I probably will pick up a pair that does have a solid outsole throughout to see if they perform a little bit different than this semi-translucent and solid forefoot portion here. So as far as the cushioning system goes here in the Jordan Zion 3, so the first shoe, I believe it had forefoot zoom with full length air strobel. The second one had air strobel in the heel and forefoot zoom. And here they are really departing from what they've done in the first two with a drop-in midsole. So this drop-in midsole right here is Formula 23. It is very soft. It does feel like Cushlon, but a little bit more dense. Overall, it's been very nice underfoot. I've really enjoyed this Formula 23 in the Jordan Zion 3. I think they did a fantastic job with this drop-in midsole. And then in the forefoot of this, you have like an 8 to 10 millimeter zoom bag in the forefoot. It's very springy underfoot. It does taper down as far as thickness from the heel to the forefoot. It becomes a lot thinner. And then just having this zoom bag in the forefoot reminds me of a lot of the Kobe drop-in midsoles from the past with the zoom bag in the forefoot. These are fantastic. One of the better drop-in midsoles that I've played in a very long time. So overall, the cushion is very balanced. As far as what you're getting on the outside of this shoe, there's really nothing special. It is a TPU wrap and then just rubber wrapping up. So everything as far as cushioning is in that drop-in midsole right here with that Formula 23 and the zoom bag in the forefoot. One thing I am eager to see is if this Formula 23 does break down over time. But as far as the heel to toe transition in this shoe, it's a little bit clunky because of this material on the outside, but everything housed within that is very nice underfoot with this Formula 23 and zoom. So let me know what you guys think if you guys have played in these as far as this setup. But for me, I really enjoyed this setup in the Jordan Zion 3. So as far as the cushioning goes, I'm gonna have to give these a very solid 8.5 out of 10. I would love to see a full length zoom setup here at the bottom. I know they have that TPU plate here at the bottom, or even just a large volume portion in the heel where you're gonna get that zoom in the heel and forefoot. But as far as it stands right now, these are very enjoyable. As far as the court feel goes here in the Jordan Zion 3, I think they're fantastic. They remind me of the Kobe 9s, 10s, 11s. As far as shoes that had those drop-in midsoles, it's very close to the floor here in the forefoot, and I really enjoyed my time in these. The court feels great, so I think a ton of players and play styles can enjoy this cushioning setup. Whether you're a guard or a shooting guard, or even a bigger player that just wants a low to the ground cushioning system with a very springy portion here in the forefoot, I think you will enjoy this setup of Formula 23 and forefoot zoom in the Jordan Zion 3. As far as the fit goes in the Jordan Zion 3, really quickly, I'm a size 10.5 usually, sometimes 11. I got a true to size 10.5 in these, and my toe is at the very end of the shoe, like overly snug. And the width of these shoes is one of the actual like narrowest basketball shoes I've played in a very long time. So right from the jump, I will say go up half a size. If you have a very wide foot, try them on in a full size up or just skip this shoe altogether. because it does not really expand as far as the width goes too much. For me, I did get these in a size 10.5, and I do think I'm gonna try them in an 11 as well, because this fit was almost painful. It was so bad. So as far as the fit goes, like I mentioned, very, very narrow. It is a very snug fit from heel to toe, so you won't have too many issues as far as your foot moving around within the shoe. But like I mentioned, my toe was at the very end of the shoe, and the width was just way too narrow for me. So I'll be going up half a size, and I will be giving these another shot. But as far as my initial play in the Jordan Zion 3 for the fit, I will have to give these an 8 out of 10. I am gonna try them again in a size 11 and see how they do, and I will update you guys if they fit a lot better. But like I mentioned, go up half a size from your usual size right from the jump. And if you are a wide footer, try them on, maybe a full size up, or just skip these altogether, because they will be problematic for you. Just look at this outsole. It's very narrow here in the midfoot, and it does flare out right here, but that's just the outsole. It's a very narrow fitting shoe, all things considered. As far as the materials go on the Jordan Zion 3, really nothing amazing, but I do like them performance-wise. So you have this really tight woven kind of mesh material. It does not flex a ton, but it really hugs your foot nicely. And then over top of that mesh material, you kind of have this almost like patent leather print here. It's supposed to be mud from Zion jumping out of the mud from where he started to where he's at now. And that does offer some extra durability and a little bit extra support on that upper. It is on the lateral side, also on the medial side. I do really like this graphic and print. I think it's really cool, and it adds some flair to this basketball shoe. And then at the back of the shoe, you kind of have this cement print right here. And it's kind of a synthetic like nubuck or suede or maybe even leather. So you do have that at the back, and then you do have all that stitching at the back, kind of wrapping around the Zion logo. The small Jumpman at the bottom here. But overall, the materials are nice performance-wise. I think they're pretty durable for indoor usage, Outdoors, I do think you'd rip through this pretty quickly if you do toe drag, because it does kind of look like there is a toe guard here, but it's just a thicker portion of this mesh material. So really nothing crazy as far as durability at that toe box. As far as the tongue goes on the Jordan Zion 3, you do kind of have this foam material. It's nothing overly thick, but it definitely feels nice on foot. And this tongue is gusseted towards the bottom right here. So it is connected from the bottom here up, and then from here all the way to the top. It is kind of free flowing, but I had no issues with this tongue moving around at all. One thing I did forget to mention as far as the fit portion goes, at the back of the shoe, you do have these pillows here on either side of your ankle. Not quite Achilles pillows, but they do kind of come out of the back of the shoe, offering some very nice comfort. Overall, the materials are really nothing special, but I do like that kind of print on the upper. This mesh material is very tightly woven, so I think these are fantastic for on-court use. Overall, I would have to give these a very solid 8.5 out of 10. Again, nothing premium. These are also more expensive this year at $140 USD, $180 here in Canada. But overall, the materials are pretty decent for on-court use. I would just keep these indoors because I do think you would shred through this upper pretty quickly outdoors. As far as the weight goes for the Jordan Zion 3, again, this is a size 10.5, and these do come in at 14.7 ounces. So just a little bit lighter than the LeBron 20s and 21s, but a little bit heavier than most of the shoes that Sirius Player Only has to offer. So all things considered, in my opinion, this is not an overly heavy shoe, but it is bottom heavy. It is a little bit clunky at the bottom of the shoe with all this TPU and rubber wrapping up. All right, so as far as the support goes in the Jordan Zion 3, starting at the back of the shoe, you do have a very rigid, and I mean very rigid, internal TPU heel counter. So it's very sturdy at the back of the shoe. Moving your way down from that, you do have this material here that is very sturdy and almost stiff in the upper. It does fit nicely on foot, but it does not offer a ton of stretch. So when you make hard lateral cuts, this material is really gonna keep your foot housed within the upper and on the footbed. Moving your way down from that, this portion right here that runs up the midfoot to the heel, you do have these plastic clips. So on those hard lateral cuts, your foot is sitting within that drop in midsole and then below this also. So you're gonna get some great support on those hard lateral cuts. You also have it on the medial side. It's actually plastic here at the heel, and then it's just the rubber portion that wraps up from there, but it does keep your foot housed in very nicely. And then also with that drop in midsole, you do have this support plate right here at the bottom of the shoe. It does wrap up the lateral side and at the bottom and up the medial side a little bit. So that does offer some decent torsional rigidity directly underfoot with this cushioning system here. and that TPU plate at the bottom. This does remind me very much of the support drop-in midsole from Serious Player Only. As you can see, theirs does not wrap under the medial side here, more so on the lateral side and up near the toes, and it kind of just offers that extra support with these. But Jordan Brand did a fantastic job as far as the drop-in midsole here goes with the Formula 23, the Zoom bag, and that support plate. Also with this shoe, you do have some outriggers here. So you do have an outrigger right here on the lateral portion here of the forefoot. And then very interestingly enough as well, at the midfoot, you do have another outrigger right here. So again, it's not overly a wide shoe, but it does flare out here on the lateral portion and right here at the midfoot. So there is a ton of support on this basketball shoe. I was really taken back when I saw that they were Zion's next signature shoe because they were a low top, but all things considered, they have a ton of support with this basketball shoe right here. There's also this window right here that when you do have the drop-in midsole in it, you can see the blue portion. And that portion right here, you're actually sitting down within as well. So everything on this upper, the heel portion, those kind of lateral flanges right here, they're all offering some fantastic support. And then the lacing system on these is just a traditional lacing system also. So if you crank those laces down, you will be staying on the footbed and not moving around at all here in the Jordan Zion 3. So as far as the support goes, I'm gonna have to give these a very solid 9 out of 10. One of the better supportive basketball shoes as far as low tops go. So that's going to do it for today's performance review on the Jordan Zion 3. If you guys have tried them out, let me know down in the comments what you guys think of them. For me, the best aspects of this shoe is the support and the cushioning. I don't mind the fit. I do just have to go up half a size because they do fit so narrow in the forefoot and just overly snug. So if you guys are going to try these out, like I said, go up that half a size and you should be good to go. But let me know down in the comments if you guys have tried these out. Probably my favorite aspect of this shoe is the drop-in midsole with that unadulterated Formula 23. It's just very soft and plush underfoot. And then that Zoom bag in the forefoot is amazing also. So like I said, that's going to do it for today's video. As always, if you guys can like, comment, and subscribe, that does help the channel a ton. And check out my Instagram over at Sneaker Tech Talk, as it is an extension of my YouTube channel with all my pickups, basketball footage, and nostalgia as a whole. As always, thanks for watching today's video, and until next time, peace.